Mosier.
Here.
Justice Miller.
Here.
Justice Thornton. Justice Cone. Justice Cooper. Justice Emmons.
Here.
All right, we could stand for prayer and pledge allegiance.
Bow. Dear Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all the blessings of it. We thank you for this opportunity you give us to come do the business of the county, Lord, and we just pray that everything we do and say will be pleasing to you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first thing on the agenda is a minute from last month's meeting.
Izard County Quorum Court met in regular session on Monday, July 1st at 5 p.m. Justices Sanders, Hatman, Sherrill, Mosier, Miller, Cone, and Emmons were present. The minutes of the June meeting were read and approved on a motion by Justice Emmons and seconded by Justice Miller, with all in favor. Appropriation Ordinance Number 2024-17, an ordinance establishing Izard County policy for the compensation of Izard County Board of Election Commissioners and Izard County poll workers, was tabled to next meeting on a motion by Justice Miller and seconded by Justice Sherrill, with all justices in favor. The court also discussed getting an appraisal on the Chapel Hill Road property. The judge delivered the June road report, and with no other business, the court adjourned at 5:37 p.m. on a motion by Justice Miller and seconded by Justice Mosier.
You've heard the reading of the minutes.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes as read.
A motion and a second.
By whom?
Willie. Hank. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say likewise. Comment from the audience? Old business. You got a lot of reading to do, John.
Thank you very much. You ready?
Yep.
Ordinance number 2024-17. Being enacted by the Quorum Court of Izard County, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance establishing Izard County policy for the compensation of Izard County, the Izard County Board of Election Commissioners, and Izard County poll workers. Section 1. Election Commissioners and poll workers generally. Eligibility of any compensation to the Izard County Board of Election Commissioners and Izard County poll workers not specifically declared in the ensuing section shall be determined in accordance with the reimbursements, rules, and guidelines established by the State Board of Election Commissioners. Section 2. Poll worker compensation. Poll workers shall be paid in accordance with Izard County Ordinance 2022-20. Section 3. Election Commissioners public meeting reimbursement. Number 1. In an election cycle, each member of the County Board of Election Commissioners shall receive for his or her service the sum of $125 per public meeting when official business is conducted, up to a total of 10 meetings per election cycle. Number 2. For each meeting over the number of meetings per election type under subdivision 1 of this section, each member of the County Board of Election Commissioners shall receive for his or her services the sum of $25. Number 3. Eligibility compensation for the Izard County Board of Election Commissioners to attend the mandatory training conducted by the State Board of Election Commissioners prior to a regularly scheduled preferential primary election is set at $300. Mileage will be reimbursed to attend mandatory training in accordance with the Izard County travel policy. Section 4. Election Commissioners hourly compensation. Number 1. Each member of the Izard County Board of Election Commissioners shall receive compensation in an amount of $15 per hour worked outside of a public meeting, subject to the following limitations. A. A member of a County Board of Election Commissioners shall be paid for work conducted outside of a meeting for up to 40 hours per election. Or B. The Quorum Court may set the amount of hours a member of a county board of election commissioners may be paid between 0 hours and 40 hours per election. If a county employee has been made available to act as an election coordinator, subject to the requirement that the employee comply with directives of the county board of election commissioners in matters related to an election, and the county employee has been accepted as an election coordinator by a vote of the county board of election commissioners. Number 2, each member of a county board of election commissioners shall file a claim with the county documenting tasks completed by the member at the time required to complete those tasks in order to receive hourly compensation. Number 3, a member of a county board of election commissioners shall not be paid hourly compensation for tasks completed: A, more than 100 days prior to election day, or more than 40 days after election day. Section 5, mileage reimbursement. The person designated by Izard County Board of Election Commissioners to deliver election materials to the poll workers for each polling site, and the poll workers designated to return election materials to the courthouse after closing the polls on election night will be reimbursed in accordance with the Izard County travel policy. Section 6, emergency clause. It is found by this court that it is necessary to bring election officials compensation in compliance with Arkansas law. This court finds that this is a public emergency affecting life, health, safety, or the property of people. An emergency is declared to exist, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from the date of passage and approval. Definitions: election cycle, to reference the applicable time period in which elections occur. Election types. Number 1, primary election is the election that political parties use to select candidates for a general election. Number 2, runoff election, an additional election that is held between an earlier one did not result in a winner. General election is an election in which candidates who won either a primary or a runoff election are elected to office. Number 4, special election is an election that takes place outside of the regular election cycle. Number 5, school board election is an election where school board officers are elected by citizens residing in a school district.
I hear a motion to read this by title only for the second reading.
Can we discuss it, or is it one of that?
Or do we need to discuss it, or?
I've got a few questions, and they're just simple ones. Who is our election coordinator? I honestly do not know.
She is
Right.
And what's your name, ma'am?
Ray Andrews.
All right. And who else on our commission?
No, they were supposed to be here by their.
Stephen Williams.
Stephen Williams.
Myself,
David.
David Delvecchio.
And they are chosen by the party.
Okay. All right. So,
David's probably at a Horseshoe Bend special meeting. I bet you.
Yeah.
Or he was probably in there.
I don't know, I've never had her. All right, so where are we at on the amount of money we spent so far on election this year? Are we within the budget, over budget?
Probably over budget almost. We're getting really close. If I'd have to look at it.
Warren would know, he's not here.
Yeah. We've spent a lot on the poll workers. But that was guesswork, because which Shelley used to take care of all that on the budget side of it, and I just kind of went with her old budget. And, with the increase of what we're paying our poll workers, so we went up to $15 an hour. It cut into it a little bit more than what I expected. But a lot of that's gonna get reimbursed. So we'll get reimbursed for, Do you know how much your reimbursement was that you sent back for?
68.
68,000, somewhere in
But
there.
the state of Arkansas reimburses the primary.
Yeah, that's what, yeah, so that'll all get,
It will all be paid back.
yeah. So even though we're over budget right now, or not over budget, we are in the red on the,
Then we still get to the general.
yeah. We can either reappropriate that refund back in there, then we wouldn't be. But the way I understand it, I mean, Brad, you might know that this is state law that we're trying to coordinate with, so.
Yeah, and one of the changes that was mentioned was the addition under section 4, subsection 1B, we added that in. That follows Arkansas law exactly, and gave the Quorum Court the option of providing a county employee to act as an election coordinator to potentially be accepted by a vote of the County Board of Election Commissioners as an election coordinator.
Years ago, the election commissioner was appointed by the county judge. State law changed that to make it to where the election commissioners appoint the coordinator.
Is there a law that states how much the county election coordinator has to be paid?
I would imagine there's something.
Do you know?
No, I don't, but I can tell you that before I resigned from the position, this law was going through the cycle last year. And, that's why when the law passed, I got involved in getting the ordinance put together. But I wanna clarify that, like Raynell said, that the primary gets reimbursed by the state. And during the general, the municipalities are to reimburse the county for the races that are conducted within that municipality. Also, school board elections are reimbursed by the school district. And special election, whoever decides to call a special election has to pay for it. So I don't know how the county was handling it in the past, but when I was the coordinator, I would do the math and figure how much, like, let's say Horseshoe Bend owed the county $9,000 for this last election. They got an invoice and they paid the bill. I think Palico paid, Milburn paid, many of the other municipalities didn't, but their bills was not that significant, but they still didn't. Now, there's no really, enforcement mechanism by the county to make them pay, but there's a provision on the law that we can generate an invoice based on a percentage of the election cost for the municipalities to reimburse the budget. Like, for the primary, there was a school board election within the primary, there's a portion of that bill that the school districts are gonna have to pay. And that was sent in to the, a lady at the state level, which she's gonna figure all that, and I'm not sure because there was a holdup. They needed a certificate of publication for all the ads we had to pay, and that was like the only holdup for us, for the county to get run through the board and the reimbursement approved. So, anyway.
Brad, can the state tell us how much we have to pay during the primary? I mean, the general, they're reimbursing, but something they're not reimbursing in, can they tell us, can they mandate us, the county, to pay a certain amount? To
Don't
people?
know off the top of my head.
You know what I'm saying? You see my
I do,
question?
yeah.
I mean,
They're not reimbursing me for it.
I understand the general,
They're
they're
telling you.
reimbursed.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute, primary, they're.
Or primary, yeah, but the general, can they tell us that we've gotta pay X number?
A certain amount, and then they're not having anything to do with helping you.
Right, yeah, no, that's my
Right.
question, is that we're locking ourselves into, that you've gotta pay X number of dollars, et cetera. They're not, I can't figure out how it's state law, I don't know how the state can make you pay for something that they're not responsible. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure how they can set your, and they may, I don't know, I'm asking if that's a.
And that'd be for the primaries.
Yes, for the primaries, can they can they tell us that we've gotta pay X number of dollars for this and that?
Cause they reimburse us on the primary. So
It'd be for the general.
For the general, I'm sorry, I get that confused.
Well, I can say that the $15 an hour for 40 hours is sufficient the law. But the state, for the poll workers, only reimburses at $11 an hour, whereas the county is paying 15, so you're having to cover that extra $4 out of the budget.
Oh, yeah, and I understand when we done that, they help you get more poll workers.
Yeah, we've got.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, so,
Brad, that you read a while ago on, or we were saying that we could elect somebody, or get somebody from the county to do the election commission job.
Yeah.
But is it saying that the election commission's gotta approve them too?
They do, yeah.
So it's not a heads up that they'll let us do it anyway, right?
No, it's not guaranteed, no.
Can you find out for me whether or not there's at some point, whether or not it's required that there's a set amount that has to be paid?
Yeah.
For the election coordinator?
Yeah, and then if it's me, I'd say, they table until budget gets started talking about, we find the exact numbers, what we over, what we're gonna do.
And I think this is more for reimbursing them for work they put in.
Well, this is not gonna be retroactive, you can't go back. I mean, if we put it in the law today, it doesn't go back and pay them for what they
the
done
law,
last year.
the law
Yeah.
passed last year though. The state law passed last year, and the commissioners were underpaid already for the meetings they conducted during the primary.
I think they're gonna ask, I think the workers are probably gonna be asking the Quorum Board to reimburse them, to pay it retroactively, is that right?
The minimum per meeting, according to the law, is $125 as of last year. But like I said before, since we didn't have anything happen when the law passed up until March, the minimum payment required per meeting was $125. When the commissioners sent in their invoices, they were paid at $100 an hour. So whether an ordinance can supersede Arkansas law, I don't know. But the expectation they had was that they had 9 meetings to do the primary and the runoff, is that they would get paid the $25 that they're owed times 9.
So how much is that? That might help the court to know.
I don't know, there's
how
3
much
commissioners.
you're
How
owed.
do you?
3 commissioners. I don't have a calculator.
So 3 commissioners times
It would be,
$175.
$675. $225.
Yeah.
But the state also reimburses for the meeting. But we didn't put it in the way it was supposed to be paid because they didn't get paid $125.
In the reimbursement form, it had $125 in there. I tried to go in and put in 100, it would not accept it.
It would not accept 100 because the state
Because
form
That's
itself.
not the law.
Exactly.
So are you gonna get the $125 reimbursed?
No, we're not.
Oh, so
Because-
now it's gonna cost $125.
No. What she's trying to say is that there's an Excel form the state sent for us to fill in.
Mhm.
And certain cells within the form are locked to just give us a total. When she tried to input that the commissioners only got paid $100 an hour, per meeting, I'm sorry, the form does not allow that amount because that amount is not the law. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. Are we
So-
getting
so-
the $100 or $125 or no?
So,
Are we
the
getting?
county will get reimbursed for $125. Okay.
That's what she had to do.
Okay, we are
Yeah.
getting reimbursed.
Yeah, you're gonna get your money back. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm all over.
No, of course.
But you see, but the problem is, the commissioners didn't get that.
They got $100.
They got $100, correct?
I thought they got 125.
No, they didn't.
Does
I'm sorry?
this also cover primaries?
I'm sorry, which part?
No, general. Does this cover general elections, the public meetings reimbursement? Will you have public meetings in the general election?
We have to by law. Well, I mean, they have to by
And you won't get
law.
reimbursed for those?
Yes,
Oh, you will?
not
The
the
state
state,
won't
not the
re-
state, not the state, no,
Okay.
sorry,
But you would by the county, you'd get reimbursed.
correct.
But the state wouldn't reimburse the county.
No, the state does not reimburse the county for certain things.
That was my question, if the county has to follow the same.
Yeah.
But by state law, you have to have a certain amount of meetings.
Correct, we have to, like, a notice of LNA testing, public demonstrations, meetings for like a ballot draw petitions and stuff like that have to be public meetings, yes.
And they're set by state.
And they're set by the state and, you know, they cost a little more because they have to be printed in such a way and so. Does that make sense? Up to a little bit of the expenses, yeah. But the municipalities that have their municipal races in the general, according to how many contests, how many people show up to vote, reimburse the county a certain amount of money. And I can produce the list of who all reimbursed us, for 2022. But I think like, Diane was like $200 they owed us and I don't think they paid, but the bigger bills got paid.
If you'll produce the list, I'll get an answer to Justice Miller's question.
On which part?
On the list you were just talking about. I'm
The
sure the Quorum
municipalities
Court would like to know that.
That reimbursed? Yeah, yeah. And as a matter of fact, when they would send the invoices, the payment in, Warren would send me a receipt. So he has that too. Cause I generated the invoice by the law, by the formula provided by the law, and then I would invoice each municipality, and then they would pay Warren, and he would kick back a receipt to me. So he has that too. So.
Well, it's been read one time, so I presume there's not gonna be a motion to suspend
I
the rules.
haven't heard a motion, so. Do y'all want to table this till next meeting, or?
Y'all got any other questions you want me to look into? Because what I'm gonna look into is, can the state require certain amounts that the county has to pay for the general election cycles, knowing that the state's not gonna reimburse the county. And they may very well can do that.
How many polling sites are we required to have open for election?
One, how many polling sites do we have?
We have 9, but we're not required to have 9. There's no law.
We can't combine any of the smaller ones? Or-
Yes.
I'm just.
Well, we
question.
tried, and that opened a can of worms before.
Yeah, no, I understand not wanting to
Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
because you got your smaller, I mean, your people down at Guyan won't come and vote. Might not come to
Well,
Melville,
yeah,
but the people at
and that's the
Stillmore,
thing.
wherever.
Well,
Yeah.
my question, I'm
Yeah.
not sure, I didn't know.
Yeah, the jurisdiction of opening or closing polling sites resides with the election commission, and before that was attempted, and I think when I looked at the file from 2016, we have over 13 at one point. And eventually, when you only had like 20 voters coming during an election, they were either closed or combined.
Well,
But there's no,
that leads to my next question on early voting.
mhm.
I mean, I went to early vote, and I was there for probably an hour, and I was the only one there. I mean, why are we open so many days on early voting? Is that required
State
by
law.
law?
State law is 2 weeks.
On every site
As many sites as the election commission
has open?
has open.
Okay.
Early voting is for 2 weeks.
But it only mandated that we have one side open though, right?
No.
Oh.
At least one.
Okay.
And they changed the law now that for early voting, a polling site is open, the same amount of hours the clerk's office is open.
Yeah, but I mean, I
That
go in there
way-
and there's 5 people working and nobody was doing anything. There wasn't nothing to do. It was just early voting.
Well, the law says you have to have at least
Okay,
four
that was
people.
my question.
Yeah, the law says you have to have at least 4 people at any given polling site.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move forward. We got that one tabled until, I guess we need to vote on that. Do I hear a motion to table that ordinance until, the next meeting? Motion. Motion, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
A second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, say likewise. If y'all would, if you have any questions on that, contact Brad or me, or we'll try to get anything answered to resolve anything. Or feel free to call the State Board of Elections, Secretary of State even. All right. New business.
Okay, I've got one thing under new business.
Okay.
I was approached, probably a month and a half ago, about, everybody knows they're building a new bridge out here in Piney Creek, y'all know it's 7 Hump Bridge. And, Miss Linda Sherrill's come and asked me about naming it as 44 Bridge, because that's the community. And, so I told her I would present it to everybody, and she has brought me a petition for the people that surrounds that bridge, was in that area, and asked her to do that, and they would like it to be named just a 44 Bridge, is what they'd like to be named. So I'm just bringing it up for you tonight. I don't know if we need to pass a little ordinance for Brad to write up and everything, but I'm just presenting it to everybody tonight.
Is that the state that determines what it, who determines the name of a bridge?
We can
I
request
have
it.
done some research. Justin, had a heads up that this
So
might be coming,
yeah.
so I called the highway department, talked to the chief engineer in Batesville. His first name's Dustin, and he said that they would love it for the county to name that bridge, that they want us to name the bridge. And they would just need a resolution and maybe a letter from me with that resolution saying, you know, here's the resolution of the Quorum Board. I can type up a resolution, and the way I was going to word it, it was gonna be 44 Bridge. We can put the 44 Bridge, or I was thinking just 44 Bridge. And it's spelled Forty space FOUR, capital F's, not no dash.
I think you should write that up, and we'll vote on it.
You can present it, well,
Vote on that next meeting or whatever.
That's fine.
We can put that on the agenda, if we can go ahead and put that on the agenda.
Sounds good. All right.
That's what I had on that.
I got something real quick.
Okay.
Downstairs, the handrail.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna take care of that.
Look, I had never noticed it.
I hadn't either.
I mean, I didn't.
I have.
That's just something I had never, man, I had never noticed that it didn't go all the way down to the end. Someone was in court the other day and asked about it.
Yep, she sent letters to everybody.
Yeah.
I was fixing to ask everybody to go letters.
I would love to get that fixed.
Yep, we'll get that fixed. Which, construction up here, we got all the mini splits except the one in the judge's chambers is done. They had jury court up here the other day. I think everybody was pleased with the jury room, nice and cool, so. Looks good. So I think it's all coming together good. The queue covers, they said it might be in November before they get it here, but they are ordered, so. We should have a little bit of money left over there, but not much.
What was the electrical take on it?
That is, well, they put the speaker for our, so when y'all talk, so we can hear it on YouTube on the computer down there. And so they had requested me just to take that up to hang it down lower, so it'd be lower. It was right up by the ceiling. Them 3 speakers have always been there.
So that's your handiwork, Eric? You did it?
That's my handiwork. There's,
That looks more like building than you.
Yeah. I just kinda got to look at all electrical things. Ooh, is that in budget?
Tammy, I guess she gave y'all her assessor's abstract report, bragging on how much our She sent me a big text, I don't know if she sent y'all a text or not, but.
I got one on the phone.
Let me see what. We are up in assessed value from last year, 8.2 million assessed. It's in the new construction, personal property, and utilities. It will equate for the county general in addition, somewhere around $40,000 in addition to new revenue for next year. The total for all tax districts is $9,983,716.97. That's the total increase over last year's. So that's good. That's all the new construction that we've got in the county, and then the new people moving in, buying homes that were already here, paying a little bit more money for them too.
Eric,
Yes.
that was the $40,000, the increase in revenue we will get, or was
Yeah.
that 9 million something was the total?
Yep, and so it'll be for county general, that'll be an extra $40,000,
Okay.
what she's estimating.
So that 9 million is like all the property that's assessed in the county, if they all pay their taxes,
Yes.
you get 9 million something.
Yes.
You with it here?
Yeah, yeah. All right,
How are we doing on our jail construction?
they poured the slab is poured,
They're ready to lay block, but the past 2 weeks, they haven't showed up, they didn't show up today to lay block.
Hot as it was, I wouldn't have showed up either.
Week before last, it was because of the weather, all the rain that's happened,
Yeah.
they didn't wanna mix up a bunch of mud, lay block and not. And then last week, they had a job already scheduled, they started. So, just still waiting on the show, lay block.
but the slab is poured, if you wanna drive by there and look at the slab, you can, and then the fencing and stuff, the chapel's moved.
Building down at Easy Kitty got it.
It is, it's up, it's in the dry. So, I think they're starting on the interior of it, in the next couple of weeks. It's looking really good. All right, road report. We graded approximately 125 miles of the county road in July. It's been so dry, I mean, we did get a couple of really good rains, and yeah, we would go around and spot grade and fix some places, but we've had them shut down a lot just because it's so dry. We've hauled approximately 265 loads of clay gravel. The road department cut approximately 25 miles of right of way with the sidearm bush hog, 85 miles with the bush hog. Installed 3 culverts, 63 loads of crushed rock. And we've started on the Lafferty Bridge. We've got the old bridge out. They've done the dirt work. I think they're gonna come tomorrow and pour the footings. And once the footings are poured and sit for 2 days, and they'll start on the walls for them and start backfilling. We had to do some work on, I don't know if any of y'all's ever been down Lafferty, but Peterson Circle is a loop that goes around there. It's got 3 creek crossings on it, so we worked them over so people can bypass the bridge being shut down, so we fixed that bypass for them.
How long is it gonna be shut down, you know, roughly? Like a few weeks or?
A month?
Month.
Yeah. Guessing at a month.
Yeah, no, I realize that.
Weather permitting.
Yeah, you don't know for sure.
They look at Boston Creek bridges.
The state has not approved or has not looked at it. It's supposed to have been there this week to look at them. They're gonna stripe Day Road. I believe it was striped today. I ain't gonna swear to it. I hadn't been up there, but, it's getting striped.
You think like they stopped Loudon
I was
Road?
there last
Would that be
week.
possible to do Loudon Road? There's a pretty good wreck out there, I know, and
Okay. I'll look at that and see. I was gonna do some more work on Live, and we need to do another mile or so of overlay or something on it. And Boswell Road, I hadn't got it done yet either, so
Yeah.
I'll have to look at it.
Have you been down there since they done chip and seal?
Yeah.
Okay, how come they got cold mix doing potholes already?
We feel, the state called and there was one that they missed, and they put 3, and they put some cold mix in them, so. But they are sealed, so they shouldn't go anywhere, they were just trying to make the ride a little bit better. I don't know how they got missed, but they did. But
Take us
the
with
state
Main
inspector,
Road and-
yeah.
Usually.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, which I've got an announcement, my baby was born, on the 2nd, so. I got a new baby girl at the house, so.
Great.
Starting all over.
We're starting all over, so. I'll be in and out, I'll have my cell phone with me and my computer at the house, so. I'll be available for a week or so. I'll be in and out, so. But we'll keep everything running. Anything else?
I'll make a motion.
Oh,
Go ahead.
oh, and I do have one more announcement. County Fair starts,
Starts tomorrow night, horse show starts tomorrow, and then we have livestock shows every evening.
our carnival, we had a carnival lined up. They called this morning, called Jason and canceled on us, so we will not have a carnival, but something to do with his, daughter went missing somewhere in Missouri, 16-year-old girl, and he said, my daughter comes first. He said, I'm not gonna be down there to set up, so, until his daughter's found, so. Yeah, so but we are gonna have a truck pull. I guess it's got some open class, if y'all got an old farm truck, y'all wanna come and.
When is the, pig auction and the chicken auction? When are those?
The poultry auction is Friday at 5,
Okay.
and then we'll sell the fat hogs, Saturday at noon. We've only got a few of those this year, just for whatever reason, just had trouble getting our weights up. You know, pigs were born a little later than what we'd like them to, and we just didn't get them fat, you know, so, but we've got a few of those on Saturday at noon, and then we'll do awards on Saturday evening at 5, right before the truck pull and all that. There'll be a family rodeo, the Rand rodeo will be Thursday night and Friday night, and so we tried to have some entertainment going out there, every night. Just unfortunate that the carnival didn't work out. But we would love the traffic, come circle through the barn, visit with the kids. We'll have a show, every night, Saturday night, we'll have shows, something going, Tuesday through Friday evening, and then we'll have what we call the best of the best show on Saturday morning, where everybody that won, a senior showmanship division in any breed of animal comes back and will show multiple species and sort out basically who the best of the best is, and it's a pretty neat deal. Those kids work their tails off on that one, so they'll show all species that day.
You got several entries this year?
Yes, the entries are solid, you know,
Good.
and I'm not gonna say they're huge.
Yeah.
They're good for us.
Yeah, good.
Good for our times, for sure, so.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, if everybody get out there and support that, let people in Calico and let people in Horseshoe know, you don't see a whole lot of outside people down there. Let everybody know that it's going on.
The fair guides are out.
Yep, fair guys are
They're
out.
out on the street, so if you need a full schedules or whatever, I mean, it's pretty complete, everything you wanna know about the fair, so.
A lot of work goes into that.
Yes.
It just is. There's more work than most people realize, but.
Yeah. All right, anybody got anything else?
I'm gonna make that motion.
Okay, got a motion to adjourn, here a second, Justin, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed, like? Yeah, keep that and bring it with you, and that way we can send it in with,